Alright guys, Tetrabit here again today, and CWL Anaheim is over. This is my last day here in the hotel room. Later today, I'm flying out back to the UK, and then tomorrow we can talk more in depth about Rostermania, because of course that is the big thing on people's minds right now. Yes, 100 Thieves won. You know, Anaheim, a lot of people were expecting it. We'll go through that in the majority of today's video, but of course, Rostermania, the roster change period, is now open from the 17th, which is today, through to the 20th. Things change around. A lot of things were going down at the Hilton Bar in Anaheim last night, as of course they were, because things need to get done quickly if you expect to get a decent team together. So very exciting time. I'll try and keep you guys updated as best as possible. We already have a few juicy things to talk about in this video. So anyway, let's hop right into it here. Like if you guys enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always. If you're watching this and I met you this weekend, awesome to meet you. It was a fantastic time, especially the Championship Sunday. Very, very good. I was actually feeling a lot better yesterday. Today, a bit hungover, but is what it is. So let's crack on with this here. So firstly, the open bracket. Now, you guys might not be too interested in this. Mindfreak ended up taking it in 2 best-of-5s again. Incredibly impressive from them. Like, they win it back-to-back now. They won at London, of course, in 2 best-of-5s, and then they win against Mesa here. This time Mesa actually took a couple maps off them, but like, these guys are just filthy. For my money, they deserve to be in the Pro League, at least some of them do, and that may be happening because, as we can tell right now, the denial spot that played on units this time around, they did not have like an actual, they don't have an organization. They're looking for someone to buy that spot off the team. Mindfreak may be a contender for that, especially with them playing so well here, and then Rated and Sharks. This has always been a long-term thing that they've been looking to try and put together. We'll go on to that in a second, but keep that in mind. Impressed by Giants as well for you Spanish guys, that they're also Brain and Nile on this team. They haven't had too much success really when they've been teaming together from what I can establish, but they came top 3, so very well done from them. And okay, so here we go. These are the final placings just to go through it. Mindfreak, Mesa, Giants, and yes, Space team ended up coming top 4, which is decent going, but I was never looking past Mindfreak this tournament for my money. So here we go. This was the championship bracket for the entire tournament. The matches that are in pink are the ones that happened on the championship Sunday. Let's go through them in detail because it was a fun turn of events. First up, we had Optic. Well, actually, first up was E6 versus FaZe. This was a rematch of their game in pools where E6 3-0'd them. And apparently, the guys in E6 were talking a bit of smack on the FaZe guys. And Zero said to them after that series, like, wait till bracket and we'll show you how to play. And they certainly did in this series. It was not close at all. If FaZe win their search and destroy, it's basically done, and yeah, like, their hardpoint is just impeccable right now, absolutely unbelievable. Got to be one of the best hardpoint teams in the game, at least a top 3 hardpoint team, maybe top 2. With 100 Thieves, because it's tough to look past them, of course. We'll go on to that in just a second, and we'll look at some of the ridiculous statistics that 100 Thieves put up this event, because we'll get into that in a second. So yes, Optic Gaming beat United 3-1. Pretty spicy. Dashi was talking smack after the game. It was pretty good fun. There were so many people about for that one. United won map number 1, but Optic Gaming brought it back 3-1. United's, I would be surprised if they don't make a change right now. They're in an interesting spot. A lot of these teams will be looking to make changes, even the ones that maybe you won't expect, because, Champs is on the line. If you don't make a change now, you're relying on your current roster being good enough to win Champs. Is that the case for some of these teams? I don't think so. So I think United will be looking to make a change, but we'll talk about that more in tomorrow's video. So yes, Optic ended up then playing FaZe. I beat them 3-2. This was crazy. This is a rematch of the winners round, winners round 2 that you can see over here. This 3-2, and it was a very similar map set. Went all the way to a game 5 again. This was a reverse sweep, whereas this one went FaZe won map 4. Or FaZe won map 4 to go to game 5, and yeah, in the game 5, like, they played him on frequency, which was an interesting decision. Genji did the same in the next round, and it worked out to their favor. But Optic were, I think, 11-0 or something on frequency since London, or maybe including London or something like that. They've been really, really good on frequency search, and FaZe go up 2-0 and lose the next 6 rounds. Like, Dashi gets a ridiculous, not Dashi, even TJ gets a ridiculous 3-piece, and you could kind of tell that the tide was in OG's favor, but FaZe are still pretty damn good for a new team. They've done well to get top 4, solidified their status, in my opinion, as a top 4 team in the game, and it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. If they can do a 100 Thieves and get their search and destroy looking crisp, then they could be very much a real contender. So 100 Thieves beat Genji 3-0 in the winners bracket. Like, this was kind of comfortable. A couple of the games were close at times. Like, Genji were a very nasty team. Envoy played out of his mind this weekend. I was very impressed with Nagafen as well on the whole, because, you know, the other guys I was very impressed with, of course, as well. But a lot of people talking about, and including myself, if you're going to make a change on Genji, probably got to be Nagafen as the guy. But he played great this weekend, to be honest. On the whole, at least from what I expected of him, he definitely had some highlight moments. But, you know, 100 Thieves are just too strong right now. They 3-0 them, and then Genji go down to losers to play Optic Gaming. Obviously, very difficult for Optic to try and make this run all the way from, you know, losers round 4. It's difficult to go through these matches, especially with the competition they had. Goes to a game 5. This was honestly incredible, the way that Optic were throwing away some of these search and destroys. They got 1v4'd by Maniac on the Hacienda, and they got 1v3'd by Morgs, I think, on the frequency. And that was a huge round on that final frequency search and destroy, because Optic went up 2-0, and I was like, damn, like, what have Genji done? They've decided to play Optic on frequency. They could have banned it out. They're undefeated on this map, like. But obviously, as Chance said, Joey Nubsy knows something that we don't, clearly. And I was very impressed. Like, I was talking to Joey a bit backstage, or at least hearing his, like, thought process. This guy deserves a lot of credit. He really understands the game. Very analytical mind for the game. And definitely knows what he's doing in terms of the vetoes. So I was impressed. And yeah, they take it 3-2. You know, very impressive from Genji. I thought that on main stage against Optic, they would have no chance with the crowd not in their favour. I thought that Genji would crumble, as they did at London. But, you know, they seem to have gained that kind of calibre, and they look like a new team now. It's crazy. With what they were looking like at London, when they got reverse swept by 100 Thieves, they were so annoyed, you know, but they seem to have regained, especially after getting 3-0'd by 100 Thieves. To come down to losers and to take down Optic like that is very impressive, because, like, when you get 3-0'd by 100 Thieves like this, you're probably thinking, well, there's no way we win the tournament. So, because even if we beat Optic Gaming, then we're not going to beat them in the finals, which is what happened. But to still have the composure to come out and beat Optic is impressive. So let's talk about Optic real quick. They come top 3 this tournament. In my opinion, solidify themselves as a top 3 team in the game. Kind of where I expected them to be. I didn't expect Genji to be top 2. I expected this team here to be United on the whole. But yeah, didn't work out in that favour. And yes, Genji, probably a top 2 team in the game right now. You probably have to look at the placings, and that's how you look at it. Optic are an interesting team right now, of course, because yes, they definitely made some mistakes in this series. They obviously have the talent on the team to be the best team in the game again. But like, in my opinion, they're gonna need 100 Thieves to drop off their level a little bit, because right now Optic is a great team. They've got a lot of great components, but 100 Thieves are just better right now, and there's no two ways about it. And maybe so are Genji, but it's tough to say which one of Optic and Genji is slightly better, because in the league, Genji were horrible, but then here, Genji play well. So difficult to say what would happen at the next event. And of course, roster changes, Genji may be considering, because look, Gunless is a free agent. Maybe that'll be the title of tomorrow's video, or not necessarily a free agent, restricted, whatever. But you know, eyes are lurking. So the grand finals, 100 Thieves versus Genji, once again, pretty comfortable for 100 Thieves. Genji do win the control in the end to at least make it somewhat interesting. I didn't want a completely boring 3-0, but, you know, at the end of the day, 100 Thieves have made this tournament look easy. Let's have a look at some stats here. So these are the overall placings if you guys want to look at them. So 100 Thieves, Genji, Optic FaZe, E United E6, good performance from E6, and E United back to their typical top 6 placings. Heretic Splice, Units, Reciprocity, Elevate, LG with a top 12 because of Ricky's 1v2, and then some other teams. I mean, Envy didn't even win a map. So, look, let's have a look at some stats here, courtesy of JP Krez from the 100 Thieves team, because these guys were unbelievable this event. You know, CWL Vegas, a lot of people said, like, maybe Optic Gaming's run there was, like, one of the best runs we've ever seen in Call of Duty ever, which is probably, to some degree, fair enough. They lost, like, 4 maps over the course of the tournament at that event. A lot of competition. This tournament, 100 Thieves lost 4 maps over the course of the tournament to go back to back. Like, in my opinion, that's a more impressive accomplishment, because at the start of the year, no one really knows what's going on. It's understandable that with Optic at the start of the year, they were like just one step ahead. You know, they understood the game more than anyone else. But the fact that 100 Thieves won London and then came in here and played even better, and their search and destroy was significantly improved with everyone gunning for them after London, to lose 4 maps at this tournament is just absolutely mind-blowing. Like, a truly incredible accomplishment for this team, and they're obviously, no questions, the best team in the game right now. Honestly, look quite unbeatable. when they're playing like that. Like, I don't know what team you're going to try and form that is going to beat them on a consistent level if they don't drop off their game. Now, it's not to say they won't drop off their game. You know, it's, I think I was talking to Taylor Keating last night, the guy who does the Pursuit for Crimsix and that, and he said that the teams that have won Anaheim, none of those teams have ever won champs in the same year, which makes a lot of sense. Anaheim's always around this time in June, May, whatever it happens to be, and by the time it comes to champs at the end of the year, obviously a little bit different a few years ago when champs was in March, but it is what it is. By the time it comes to champs a couple, months down the line, things have changed, and obviously people are going to be looking heavy into 100 Thieves, but Crowder as the coach seems to be doing a wonderful job, and I mean, look at their hard point right now, 10-1 at Anaheim, yet to lose 2 hard points in a series with this roster. And Search and Destroy, look at these stats in Search, like their Search record at London was negative, and they won the tournament. Their Search record now is very, very good. And guess what? Like, that is just unbelievable. Apparently they're, playing S&D scrims against like Illy and Shotzi and all those guys, just grinding it out online and doing their best to put on a clinic. So yeah, let's just roll through these real quick. So yeah, as JP says here, these are all the winners, a different organisation every year, and this organisation have never won the World Championship in the same year, so keep that in mind. And yeah, this from JP as well, like their only hardpoint loss was when Dachi dropped like 49 kills, they lost 250 to 218, and their only S&D losses in round 11, so like, Jesus Christ right now, what do you do against this team? And yeah, this is another interesting stat. All 5 players had a 50% or greater map win percentage when they had a negative KD, which is like, I mean, that's what you want, You don't want to have to be going off every single map. And right now, you don't have to. Priester can take over the game at any time. Kenny was marvellous this event. Slasher got the MVP. His actual first ever Astro MVP, because last year on Rise, Gunless always got it. Black Ops 3 champs, John got it. So, yeah, definitely deserves some respect. And Octane, of course, just a marvellous player. So, yeah, very well done. And Enable is just chilling. Like, wow, if I go positive, this tournament is over. And, anyone who suggests that they should switch out Enable and they'd be even better, like, don't even come at me with this, Enable's a glue to the team. He provides a lot in terms of the leadership, and I mean, you can't complain when you're losing 4 maps in an entire tournament. So yeah, moving onwards here, this is the last one from JP from Envy. So to wrap up the stuff on the tournament, let's go into the Rostermania stuff. And firstly, we had Pharaoh to follow on from the Envy stuff. Restricted free agent comes out with it straight away, and not surprised at all, to be honest. It's the Envy team. Nobody knows what's going on right now with Envy. Very interesting. Was rumours that Splice have even tried to buy out Hook's contract. Apparently that's pretty verifiable from what I was hearing last night. Not sure, can't say guaranteed, but apparently that could be on the table. And Pharaoh clearly dropped from 100 Thieves earlier this season. They go on to be godlike, comes on to Envy, they're horrible. So something's got to be said, I think, at that point. Now, one team has made a change already. We don't know the incoming player, but we do know that Sukri is out of Heretics. And this is a surprising change for me. A lot of people would say if they were going to make a change, surely it'd be Methods, right? Methods sick, it'd make more sense. But, I can understand that Sukri is a very vocal player, and if they don't get along with his attitude and whatever, like as you can see in their statement right here, a team is a complex machine, and from the outside, most things aren't seen. Chemistry and group unity play a big role. So the player coming in apparently might be Yakko or a guy called Vortex. So that's up in the air right now. And so I think this is his, I don't know who this tweet's from, but guys want to pause the video and read that, then feel free to do so. So moving onwards here, so Yakko and Vortex apparently going to be the 2 guys that could potentially be coming in. And then we have some Rated stuff just to finish. So apparently Rated was dropped off his team. They didn't want him to be there anymore or something. And then he's maybe trying to finesse his way onto Mindfreak because he's wanted to play with Shocks for a long time. If Mindfreak end up buying the spot, then we're in for some spicy situations. And, he says right here, you can't play with our emotions like this, says Crone, the guy who runs the Intel account. I'm teaming with Shocks 1,000% unless I randomly get a bizarre offer. Which team that'll be with is yet to be decided. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you are new as always. We'll talk about more of this stuff tomorrow if my pilot doesn't crash the plane on the way home. Hopefully he won't, or she, it's 2019, baby. Anyway, thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you next time.